What is happening, guys? How are y'all doing today? Good to be back on a live stream. I know it's been a little bit of time, but there has been so much happening in the world of AI and machine learning. I've literally been drowning in stuff in terms of keeping up and building stuff. But I figured, why not just do a live stream with you guys? Because I love you guys. We can go and check out some of this technology together. There's been things like Baby AGI, GPT-4. What else has there been? AutoGPT, we've been seeing stuff coming out. There was like a new model released by Meta yesterday. Kind of insane that it feels like there's a new model literally every couple of days. There's some big new announcement and it's absolutely insane. So hopefully we can go mess around. I'm going to try to get back into the live stream process every couple of days. Ideally I want to do it every day, but that's a big ask given I'm literally going to be flying out to Southeast Asia next week and then again the week after, and it's just a little bit crazy. But we got a bunch of people here, so let me say hello. How you doing, Saddam? How you doing, Arby and Nodo? How you doing, Antonius? I'm very good. Hope you're doing well yourself. Didn't realize it's 11 a.m. in India, but that kind of makes sense. It's 3:28 p.m. here in Sydney at the moment, and I got like a little bit of free time, so I figured, why not? Let's get this stream running. Sridhar, how you doing? Morning in India. That is absolutely amazing. Kevin, what is happening, dude? Glad to have you here. And workday, so definitely gonna miss the live. Oh no, shattered. That's all right. I'm gonna get back into the live streaming a lot more. So, and this will go up straight away afterwards as per usual. So don't stress if you don't get to catch the entire live stream. It's gonna be up straight away afterwards. I normally just bang it right up so everyone can go and check it out. How you doing, Carisha? How you doing, Shields? 128 here in Trinidad. Oh, that's awesome. What's happening? 128. You need to be getting some good rest to be able to go and do some machine learning stuff. 728 in Germany. Coffee ready? Let's go. How you doing, Conrad? How you doing, YX Nagi? 7 a.m. in North Africa. Yeah, where else are you guys from? I don't know how many people are on the stream now. Oh, damn, 36. Okay. We didn't realize how many people tuned into these. What is happening, guys? Loved my party look. All right, so backstory. So I'll show you the photo on the screen in a sec. But like backstory behind the Pokemon outfit. If you haven't gone and seen it, go and check it out in the community post. So there's this forum that our marketing team decided that they were going to run. So specifically a data, AI, and machine learning forum purely around like IBM tech. And so there was a whole bunch of stuff around it. But one of the biggest things and why I was so excited was it was the first ever event that I was emceeing. So I was like running the entire keynote / opening. And they're like, Nick, how do we spice this up? And so I'm like, well, yeah, let's get an animated suit. And somehow this devolved. It like started off as like a data and code suit, and then it went to like a Pokemon suit, and I had the mullet rolling around as, you know. And yeah, so that's what we ended up with. Funnily enough, it was like so tight I could barely move. So I went to squat and like it started tearing. So we didn't end up going with it. But that's the backstory behind the Pokemon suit. Hopefully you liked my party look. Might have to bring it out. We'll do some Doctor Disrespect styles. I just got to get like a bulletproof vest and then we can run with that. 2:29 in Japan. How you doing? 11 a.m. in India. Hi Nick, what's your opinion on X.AI? We should go check that out because like I haven't gone and followed up with it. Like there's been so many things coming out so far. So like my goal in these sessions from now on is ideally to show you what I'm learning as and when I'm learning it, because I've literally got a list. It must be like 60 items long that I want to get up to speed on. Like I want to learn a new programming language. I want to pick up Rust. I've been watching Prime's live streams and I absolutely adore them. So I want to go and pick up a new programming language, and Rust looks like a pretty interesting one. Bezwada, you left 30, but like what time in Chicago? 6:30 a.m. in England. Awesome. Your neighbor country, Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm actually coming to Indonesia soon, coming to Jakarta soon. 12:30 p.m. in Vietnam. I'm going to be coming into Vietnam soon as well. That's awesome. Awesome to have you guys here. Alrighty, cool. Well, I reckon let's get into some stuff and let's take a look at what we're going to take a look at today. So I'm literally going to, you can follow along with all the stuff that we're getting up to. And ideally it helps keep you up to speed with some of the machine learning stuff that's coming out thick and fast, because I literally cannot keep up with that without doing a little bit of coding and stuff every single day. Can I share the roadmap for becoming a data scientist? It would be a great help. You know what? Let's do that first. Let's go and take a look at what I think people should be learning to become a data scientist. Alejandro, 10:30 p.m. in San Jose, California. Awesome. What is happening? All right, let's jump to the other screen. Transition now. Alrighty, cool. So I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff on Excalibur so we can start mapping some stuff out. Now, keep in mind that being a data scientist, there is like so much, and there's so many different types of data scientists, right? Like there's people that focus on specific niches. It's like a spider web on my camera. It's people that focus on specific niches, specific industries. So like if you just have a good basis in data analysis and some of the stuff that I'm gonna show you, you will effectively be in a really good spot. So if we take a look at like, I'm gonna, rather than show you a roadmap, I'm just gonna paint a picture of what I think a data scientist should have. The data scientist, and if I zoom in on that a little bit, so what do we think? So typically, if we focus on the foundations, and then we'll do a little bit of Python type stuff. So in terms of the mathematical foundations, you need linear algebra, you need statistics, and probability, and what was the other thing that you need? Calculus as well. I think it's good to have an understanding of these three. So like whilst you're probably not going to use them all day in, day out, it's super useful to at least understand how they all work and where they all fit in. Like the cool thing about calculus now, even though like it's a fundamental underpinning framework when it comes to building machine learning algorithms, building deep learning algorithms, a large majority of it is automated for you inside of PyTorch and inside of TensorFlow. AutoGrad helps you do that as well. JAX is another library that's helping you do that. If that's something that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can dive in. So inside of linear algebra, ideally you want to understand what a scalar is, what a vector is, and what a matrix is. You want to understand different transformations, scaling. You also want to know matrix multiplication. And then there's like a bunch of stuff that is useful. You probably won't see it as often as you think, but we've got matrix decompositions or effectively vector decomposition. So typically you're going to see eigen decomp. And this is effectively like the equivalent of like factorizing a matrix or a vector. So that's the best way that I can explain it. So we're extracting out similar components across a specific plane or a specific line within a dimension. All right, so eigen decomposition, you should also take a look at SVD. So those couple of things. So these are foundations, right? So these are not things that will be, it's probably not going to be the most practical thing, but understanding these is going to give you a foundation for what comes next. So stats and probs, then you're probably going to want to go and take a look. I'm just thinking of my memory part. So understand different types of data, so binary, categorical. You might also want to take a look at continuous data or numerical. And that's going to break out. You might also have discrete, that's continuous. You also want to take a look at sampling, super important. Hypothesis testing. You want to understand the difference between parametric and non-parametric data. And parametric and non-parametric. I know I'm going through this fast, but we can always come back. So what do we have? So binary, sampling, hypothesis testing. You also want to understand the idea of a random variable and different distributions. So random variables and distributions. So if we sort of stem out of that, so we'll know that a discrete variable will take its value from a specific distribution, and we can effectively extract a probability, mass function. And if we have a continuous variable, we're going to get a probability density function out of that. Probability density function. One of like my favorite blogs to go and read for a lot of this stuff is actually Machine Learning Mastery. It's like, it's so detailed in terms of what it goes through, but it is also hyper practical. So understanding this stuff is super useful. All right, so all of this stuff is linear algebra, stats, and probability. So calculus, you want to understand like fundamental You typically want to learn like derivatives are all about derivative calculus, right? And you want to understand basic derivatives. You also want to learn the product rule, the quotient rule, and the chain rule. What else do we need to know from calculus? I think that's pretty good for now. There is more stuff when you get into like matrices and dealing with linear algebra. But if you understand the fundamentals around calculus and how we use the gradients and specifically the gradient descent algorithm to find a global minima to be able to minimize our loss, that's going to give you a good idea. All right, so those are fundamentals. Now, in terms of getting into practicals, right? So you ideally want to learn Python. Then in terms of frameworks, or my top frameworks, scikit, learn. You also want to know, ideally, if you want to get into deep learning, you're probably going to want PyTorch or TensorFlow. And then what else? So the other ones that I like are stats models. So this is super good if you want to do like ordinary least squares regression and like logistic regression. And if you've ever done any coding in R, the cool thing about stats models is it gives you like a similar style interface. So you can literally go OLS, pass through your X variable, pass through your Y variable, and then you literally go and run .fit and then .summary, and it will literally output the like an almost like R-like summary when it comes to actually building your regression models. So that's pretty much it, right? So like this is the fundamental math around it. Then you ideally want to go and get Python and get yourself familiar with some of these frameworks. And then I personally think it's really important to have a good grounding in storytelling and presentation, because you want to be able to communicate your ideas. So a big part of what I do is like using these fundamental concepts, but explaining it in a way that anyone can understand, which is why this stuff is so important. Okay, so I know we digress, but hopefully that was a little bit useful. So it shows you the what I think is probably a good grounding in terms of getting up to speed with data science, becoming a data scientist, looking at deep learning stuff. Any questions around that? Is there a big difference in the roadmap for a machine learning engineer? It's like very similar, right? So a data scientist, I feel, a lot of the time is going to, my aircon just turned off. Let me jump back over to the other camera. So I think a lot of the time it's going to be very similar. Machine learning engineer is going to be very much concerned with building the algorithm. So like, let's say you've got a deep learning framework. It's going to be around building the algorithm, structuring this, getting it ready for deployment, and making sure that it's going to work when you get it out there inside of applications. But the lines are very blurred when it comes to becoming a machine learning engineer versus becoming a data scientist. Like, let's actually go and take a look at some job listings so we can actually go on ahead and see. Because what you'll see is that it is very similar. I think machine learning engineer might have a little bit more of a deployment focus, but it's still going to be really close. That's in response to your question, Jordan. Let's actually go and take a look, because I always talk about it, but I probably haven't shown it. So we want to take a look there. That's storytelling and presentation. We are going to get into LangChain, I promise. So if we actually go into like LinkedIn, right? And let's type in machine learning engineer. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. All right, machine learning engineer. What are we going to get out of this? Let's check out all the job results. All right, so senior machine learning engineer at this company, whatever that is. All right, so what are they asking for in terms of what you'll do? Lead the design, development, integration, and support. So key point, right? Design, development, integration. Integration typically means deployment and getting this out there so you can build it into other applications. And support of machine learning-based sensor processing capabilities. This typically means you're probably going to be dealing with like IoT-based sensors to build machine learning models, typically around fault analysis, effectively screw-up analysis. Develop software. So again, a little bit more of a software engineering focus. But again, whenever we're talking about building full-blown software, this can blur the lines between machine learning engineer and software engineer as well. Automation. So this is, again, ML ops, getting stuff repeatedly out there and into production. Manage model selection. That still could be done by a data scientist. Training, data source, and integration. Well, data sourcing can also be a data engineering process, right? Not necessarily a machine learning engineering process. Integration could be well, that could be like ML ops. But again, I typically see integration falling into the realm of machine learning engineer. But keep in mind, you've got like wizard machine learning engineers that cover all of it. Wizard data scientists that will do all of this, machine learning engineers that will do all of this, including the EDA, including doing the analysis. What I think people typically associate as the difference between a machine learning engineer and a data scientist is a machine learning engineer typically sits more so on the IT side of things, whereas a data scientist is going to be working a little bit more closely with line of business users. They're going to be talking to line of business and finding out about stuff that's happening, things that may be influencing the data. That's typically what I find. Required qualifications, you probably need every single qualification under the sun. Interesting that they're asking for C++, Go, Python, or Rust. Like, interesting. I mean, I think everyone's probably going to have different requirements regardless of where you go. My headphones have a loop in the... Can anyone code if you've got like a loop in your mic or like headphone line? It drives me insane. All right, cool. So like you can sort of see, like if we go to Deloitte, they've got a job ad. See, this is machine. Is this machine learning engineer? No, this is senior consultant. See, I mean, you still get the blurred boundaries, right? Lead data scientist / lead machine learning engineer. Lead machine learning engineer. Let's just take a look at this one. What's this asking for? Excellent programming fundamentals. Yeah, that's fine. You probably get the same. Again, so take a look. So this is asking for Azure Cloud Native tooling. So it's asking for dev and ML ops. Again, that's deployment integration type stuff. Again, Docker Compose, Docker Swarm, Kubernetes. You probably wouldn't be expecting a data scientist to have a full-blown, full-stack understanding of those particular type of technologies. Although, again, whenever I sort of preach this stuff, the stronger your skill sets in all of this, the more appealing you're going to be to a potential employer. So super important to know. Okay, cool. That's enough, I think, on taking a look at the foundation or the roadmap, but I think a lot of people ask for that, so hence why I threw it in there. My buttons are no longer, are they transitioning? Oh, they are transitioning, okay. All right, let's take a look. What else? Can we have topics included in ML Ops? Yeah, I'll probably do that in another live stream. I want to get to some LangChain stuff. How you doing, Chung Pei Kien? Saurabh, hey Nick, hope you upload this live session on YouTube. I'm currently in my ML class and watching this. We'll skip the ML class coming in. No, I'm kidding. It'll definitely be uploaded live straight after, so you can go on ahead and check it out. All right, but what we're going to do now is why we came here. We are going to go on ahead and take... There's an echo? That's my bad. Had both mics on. My bad. What we're going to do now is have a look at LangChain. So I've been playing around with it. I've been playing around with ChatGPT as well, GPT-4. Got an interesting video coming up soon. But for now, let's go and take a look at LangChain. We'll go and read through some documentation. Yeah, I had two mics on, my bad. I had the one on this camera and then the one on here. Is it gone? It should be gone. This is concerning. Gone? Gone? Yes? Thumbs up in the chat if it's gone. You can tell I'm a beginner streamer. Alright, I hope it's gone. Anyway, if it's not gone, well, this is going to be interesting in the replay. 1:45 in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines next week. I'm so pumped. I've never been there before. Yo, Nick, can we someday soon have a class on GPT for all? Yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. TF or OpenAI, what do I like and why? Two very, very different things. So TensorFlow is a deep learning framework. OpenAI is like, OpenAI is obviously a company that builds software and specifically machine learning algorithms, but they are two very, very different things. So TensorFlow is going to be a deep learning framework that allows you to build models and algorithms from scratch, very similar to PyTorch. OpenAI is pre-built stuff. So you're typically not building stuff up from scratch inside of OpenAI. That being said, a lot of developers are picking up on it now because if we actually take a look at, I just saw someone asking about the Forza machine learning project. I feel like I'm taking on new projects and still picking those up. But I feel like a lot of developers are picking up OpenAI because it's really easy to use. Like if you take a look at Baby AGI, I'm just a kid, I didn't know that. No, that's cool, man, it's good. This is why we're here to answer these questions. it's really about like building stuff, and OpenAI is really about building stuff on top of their frameworks, right? So using their embeddings, using their LLM models, like if you want to do image generation using DALL-E 2, so on and so forth. ML Trader, I'm going to give you a sneak peek as to what I'm doing with ML Trader, because there's stuff happening right now. It's so sick. But yeah, those are sort of the differences. So I'd recommend learning a deep learning framework, but also be aware of the APIs. But they're a little bit easier to pick up. OpenAI and all that stuff. How cool does this look? This is just my water bottle, but anyway. Okay, let's go and do some stuff. Keep it, I don't know very much. Echo's gonna be back. I'm sorry. All right, what are we doing? So, how you doing, Kevin? Long time no see. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's, we've hijacked my, my whiteboard. So, to do, game plan. So what I want to learn today is so where's my to-do list? We needed to go and check in on the YouTube video that I'm currently making. So YouTube, you'll get a sneak peek. Hopefully you guys will like the behind the scenes. We also got to take a look at some of the stuff that we need to build for the course. And we also got to do some study. And so inside of study, we are going to be doing some, what did I say? Well, we're going to do LangChain here. And I've also been doing, Andre Karpathy's LLM, like build a GPT from scratch video. Like I've been going through it. Like I got home and literally powered out 2 hours of coding last night because I was a little bit stressed. So that helped me. I code when I'm stressed. I don't know why. It helps reduce my stress. But that's what I did yesterday. And I want to take a look at that as well. What are we doing? So LangChain, we're also going to take a look at GPT from scratch from Andre and the REJ. Of course, YouTube. All right, let me show you what's happening with the YouTube video that I'm building right now. So if I go into Quant Connect, so I'm building I use ChatGPT to build a trading bot. So I go and I deployed it yesterday. It's only paper trading at the moment, but I know everyone's been asking about ML Trader. I want to get back to it as well. I think it's running here. So geeky fluorescent pink hippopotamus. So this is running. I think I placed a bunch of trades while I was sleeping yesterday. I'm gonna have to come back because it's getting super hot in here. So I'll be right back, promise. I'm back. It's literally 29 degrees at my desk right now. My fan is saying it's 29. I am burning up. What was I going to say? So we'll come back to the chat. But yeah, this is actually running live. So it's built a trading bot. If we go into live, it's probably not doing very well at the moment. But I'm making it big, like a huge. Yeah, I need to get some elevator music. Still setting up the live stream. So sometimes this opens, sometimes it doesn't. Live view. Come on, buddy. Here we go. No, it's not going to do it. Maybe? No? It's a bit of a pain. Anyway, this is running live. I'm not going to show you the performance of it, but it was effectively a live trading algorithm that was built purely based on GPT-4, which I'm not going to spoil the surprise. You're going to have to go and watch the video eventually once I finally put it all together and work it out. But it's running live, and it was actually doing trading. I've had to do really, really small amount to be able to get this up and running. It's kind of crazy what's possible there. Like I did some minor tweaks because I wanted it, but you'll effectively be able to see how this is performing a little bit later. Reaches 45 degrees in summer in India. I know, but this is like literally at my desk. It's 29 degrees, like sitting right here. Like you can see my face is sweating. I'm burning up. But yeah, this is what's coming soon. So that's going to be the YouTube video. So we've got to, like I've started planning for it. Actually, guys, rate my thumbnail. Let me know what you think of this. I think it's in here, trading bot video. What do you reckon about that? Hey, as if that's not awesome. Sweet, right? Anyway. Okay, cool. So that's us taking a look. So I think we're fine there. That's all happening. We're happy with this. We're going to come back to that. All right, course. We'll talk about that later. All right, LangChain. Let's go and take a look at LangChain. I could have sworn that I started coding some of this already. The city YouTube, dear. Where are we on LangChain? I think I had it in my LLMs folder. So CD 15. Just activate that. LLMs /scripts. /activate. Got to double check, make sure that I don't have my API key exposed. So we're going to have to do that in a sec. Jupyter Lab. YouTube is telling me now it's a good time to place ads here, but I'm not going to. I know I'm probably should do something around that. Oh no, I don't have LangChain here. Okay, all right, I guess we're gonna have to play with LangChain from the get-go. So let's, oh no, I've got LangChain, it's there. Let me just double check. I do have an API key in there, so let's just not expose that. API key.py, I'll bring it back in a sec. API key, I'm just setting this up so it's not exposed. And I will set this to from API key import API. Cool. All right, that's not exposed. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. So we can close that, close that, close that. So LangChain. Let's actually go and take a look at some LangChain.go. LangChain. It's so cool how it works, because like I went into it and I'll talk about it in a sec, but like just the way that this works and like how it's using vector databases to pass context, I didn't even realize you could do that. When I went into AutoGPT and Baby AGI, like I'll show you where that actually comes in. But basically, all right, let's have a read here. Nope, I'm zooming in on that. Okay, so LangChain is a framework for developing applications powered by language models. Everyone loves a language model. Hands up if you like a language model. We believe that the most powerful and differentiated applications will not only call out to language models via an API, but will also be data aware, connect a language model to other sources of data. So important, right? Because if you don't have connections to other data, it's not going to be able to give you appropriate context. Very important. Be agentic. Is that a real word? Agentic. Apparently so. Comparative more that behaves like an agent. Okay. Learn something every day. Well, that's why we're here to learn. Allow a language model to interact with its environment. Super important, because otherwise kind of pointless, right? The LangChain framework is designed with the above principles in mind. This is a Python specific portion of the documentation. For a purely conceptual guide to LangChain, see here. For Java, what's here? Yeah, that doesn't give us more. There are two main value props the LangChain framework provides: components, all right, cool, interesting. So we got the idea. So that basically gives you the ability to have data associated with your LLM and be agentic. I don't get the agentic bit, but we will dig into that. All right, so what are people doing with it on Twitter? That's how I get a good idea as to, so if I type in LangChain, what's happening here? So LangChain, learn about LangChain, blah, blah, creating my first AI agent. So many ads. What are people saving to Notion? Reads annual reports and that answers queries via the tool. Super interesting. How did this guy do it? All right, so the annual report is forwarding queries to a annual report tool. So he's got an annual report tool and that's going to LangChain. Also, he's saying he doesn't have access to GPT-4. I do. We should go play around with that as well in a sec. Okay. So like the association to, or what's this saying? So Baby AGI, by default, Baby AGI just executes things with an LLM response by changing the execution chain to be an agent with tools. Yeah, this is the big thing, right? Like it needs to be able to go and interact with other stuff. So do we need to build the integration to other stuff? So agents, what is it? Tools, toolkit, Python guide. Yeah. All right. So I actually did this. I'll show you what I played around when I tried it first. I actually used it to go and do exploratory data analysis. Very meta, right? So I used LangChain to go and say, what are the columns in my data frame, which is kind of interesting because if you wanted to do like basically build a virtual data scientist, you kind of could with LangChain. You could go and pass it a CSV and go, hey, do stuff with it, and it will just do it. But like, I still think that these, like there's still more needed, right? Like Jira is a really good one because if you need to raise a Jira ticket, but like exactly as that guy said, so maybe this is a project that we need to do after I finish the trading video, but like imagine you could just go, hey, tell me whether to buy or sell a specific company's stock. Like tell me if I should buy or sell Tesla right now. Tell me if I should rebalance my stock portfolio. Tell me if I should, like, is now a good time to watch and subscribe to Nick's YouTube channel? Yes. But like, that's the type of thing that I think is super interesting, right? So let's actually go and take a look at this. So to install, I had to run a bunch of stuff. So / pip install LangChain, OpenAI, ChromaDB, and tick token. So if we go and run that, not Jira tickets, you can see Ashley's being triggered. All right, while that's installing, because it looks like it's going to take a while, let's have a chat. No echo. So like there's a button here. I don't know if literally like if I don't hit that button, then that means that this microphone stays on, which gives the echo. So thankfully I just went in here. This is still installing. You can see it right there. Alrighty, cool. Let's check the chat. So what's happening here? James Briggs. Yeah, loves Nick's videos, so I had to jump in. Thanks for jumping. To learn MLDL from scratch, is this much maths that I've discussed adequate? I think it's a good start. Like, I'm still learning every single day. So, like, if there's anything that you should take away from this, like, it's going to be a journey. Like, I can show you my... so, like, I've probably told you guys before that, like, I learn using memory paths to, like, memorize stuff. But, like, you can literally see... like this is all the math, like it just keeps going, like, and I'm continuously adding to this list of stuff that I want to be able to learn. Like I was memorizing the formula for like a Gaussian distribution just so I know it, because like when you take a look at things at maximum likelihood estimation, it's going to be critical to be able to understand how that framework fits in. So it's a really good start. It's probably going to get you like 80% of the way there. There's always going to be more stuff, but if you get that 80%, so much easier to keep going forward. How you doing, David Bell? What's happening? Yo, Nick, live coding and working is such a blessing. It's just showing people that the real work, small faults and errors, and even people of specific knowledge like you are still human. Yeah, like I look up to so many absolutely amazing engineers, but like I feel like sometimes it's a bit stressful when you see these people just like build from scratch and build like super fast without errors, and you're like, what? How on earth, like it's good to see what that level of performance and eliteness is, because it gives you something to aspire to. But I think it's always useful to show your own process as well, which is why, like, if I screw up, I show you, like, because I don't want you to get this warped notion that like the developers out there are all perfect, they all get it right completely every single time, that they know how to build everything absolutely perfectly. Like I'll memorize frameworks and like build mental associations to stuff so that I can remember it and I don't have to come back to it. But every single time I have to go and build a data loader in TensorFlow, I'm like, oh, how do I go and process strings? Like I know it's something that I always forget how to do. Like, but there's always going to be stuff that you need to go and refine, and that's just what development is like. Not everyone's perfect, and take your time. It's a learning process. You're going to enjoy it. I think you use ChatGPT for generations. Yeah, I've been playing around. Yeah, you can use ChatGPT for generation, but ChatGPT is also tuned on instruction-based data sets. That means that we can pass it in a set of instructions and it will give us a set of responses. What country do I live in? I'm based in Australia. Baby AGI versus Auto GPT. I've only played around... what have I played around with? What's this one? I think this is Baby AGI. What is it? I mean, it doesn't really say. It just says create pandas data frame agent. We'll go and take a look at what's being used behind the scenes, but I think it is. Hey, when will you be coding something live, maybe related to... I think that's towards James Brigg. Definitely a robot advisor will be fire. Yeah, I reckon it'll be awesome. We need more likes on this stream, only 16. Yeah, I mean, if you want to drop me a like, feel free. What else? Am I ever going to finish the Forza live stream? I want to get back to it. I need to get some time. So, but yeah, I really should get back to that. Hey Nick, what's up? After a long time, you're on YouTube live. I know, it's been taking a while, but I'm back. My bad, no audio. Again, getting used to it. Audio should be back on. Let's start again. So we are importing OS, so import OS. The next thing that we're doing is we are then bringing our API key. So from API key, import API key. And then what we've got is we're setting our API key. Am I still muted? I shouldn't be muted. I know there's a bit of delay between this. Yeah, cool, awesome. All right, so then to set our API key, so we can run os.environ and then go and set our open API key. I think my sweat is clogging the mic. I think my sweat is clogging my mind at the moment, but we're gonna power through. Okay, so then what we can do is this is where the agents bits comes in. So from LangChain.agents, import create pandas data frame agent. So this is presumably using this pandas data frame agent. So you're able to go and do exploratory data analysis using our pandas data frame agent. I don't know, what does this use behind the scenes? Is it using its own... This agent calls the Python agent under the hood, which executes the... So this isn't specifically using a what's called like a baby AGI, or like if I go, what's the Python agent here? LLM agent. Yeah, so this must be using its own thing. Does it have prompts inside of it? I don't know, it doesn't say. We can dig into that a little bit later. All right, so basically the cool thing about this is that we can use it to do exploratory data analysis with the pandas data frame agent without having to go and do it ourselves. So we're importing our own LLM. So from langchain.llms, import OpenAI. From langchain.agents, import create pandas underscore data frame underscore agent. And then we're importing pandas to actually do our pandas data analysis. Now, I think I got rid of my data set that was in here. So let's go grab one. So let's just go jump onto Kaggle and grab a data set. Let me sign in. I like Spaceship Titanic, so let's grab that one and let's grab the data. Let's grab train. So this is just a data set. It's like the original Titanic data set, but it's spaceship data set. All right, so we've got our train data set. Sorry, dying on my water there. So I've downloaded it, so it's inside of here. So we just want to grab that and go into my D drive, YouTube, and then LLMs, and I'm just going to drop it there. I'll share all this code afterwards so you guys can pick this up. I mean, it's not much code that I wrote, but I'll give it to you anyway. So you can see that I've got my trained, I can't, that's not zooming in, but I've got that train file there. So now if we go and take a look inside of our folder, you can see that we've got train.csv. So that means we can go and import it up. Now, let me show you what this would look like without having LangChain, right? So let's say, for example, I wanted to go and calculate some correlation on a bunch of data sets. I could first up, let's just add in a couple of cells here, minimize this. Let's call it LangChain. LangChain. All right, LangChain's going to pick up there. All right, so let's paint a story. So what would this look like without an LLM? So we'd actually first up read in our data set, and I haven't imported pandas, so let's run that. Now audible. Okay, cool. Make sure you shout at me when my mic is muted, because otherwise I'm not gonna know. Well, I'll probably end up coding for like an hour and we'll have no audio. All right, cool. So that first up, that's our data frame now loaded, right? So I can go and do exploratory data analysis on it. So you can see I've got my big data frame. I can type in df.head. So let's say, for example, I wanted to get the columns that I've got inside of this specific data frame. I could type in df.columns. That will give me my set of columns, right? Now, watch what this would look like if we were to do it with LangChain. So first up, what we would do is create an agent. So we'd specify a new variable called agent, and we'd set that equal to create underscore pandas underscore data frame underscore agent. We then go and pass through an open AI instance, and we'd set our temperature to 0. I got to dig into like, I remember messing around with temperature a while ago, but I really got to dig into that a little bit more. If anyone has a good definition, let me know in the chat. And then what we're doing is we're actually passing through that data frame there, and we're setting verbose equal to true. So if I go and run this now, and then I can then go and run a bunch of effectively natural language based commands against that data frame. So do you start to see how we're blending data with our LLM? So rather than just using a raw, rather than just writing the code ourselves, it's effectively going to do it for us. And it's going to structure the thoughts and actions. So let me hide this. So let's actually go and say, what columns are available in the data frame, right? So you can see it's going to kick off a chain, and keep in mind this is using the OpenAI API in the background, so it is going to be consuming API tokens. And take a look. So it steps us through this. So we've got a thought. So I need to find out what columns are available in the data frame. So that's our initial objective. And then it actually goes and creates a number of actions. So first, the action input is we go and run df.columns, and it actually outputs that out. And then in terms of the thought process, I now know the columns in the data frame. So it gives us our final answer. The columns in the data, let me zoom out. The columns in the data frame are passenger ID, home planet, cryo sleep, cabin, destination. My head's covering that. Age, VIP, room service, food court, shopping mall, spa, VR deck, name, and transported. Pretty cool, right? So like that effectively allows us to go and leverage temperature is similar to randomness with temperature 0.0. Interesting. Thanks, James. So that effectively allows us to go and explore the data frame without actually having to go and do like write out our line. So over here, I had to go and write df.columns. Here, I just had to say, what columns do I have available? Let's say, for example, I wanted to go and calculate correlation. I could type in df.core, assuming if I've got missing values, what are we getting? Could not convert string. Let's just grab df.select dtypes and then include, actually, let's go exclude equals object and then run .core. All right, so that gives us our correlation, right? And if we did this, and if we went and took a look, so anything which is, let's say, in the high negatives or in the high positives, we would assume that as high positive or negative correlation. So food court has a correlation of 0.13 against age. Shopping mall, pretty low. Against spa, 0.12, so a little bit higher. VR deck, 0.1, so not too bad. Looks like there's stronger correlation between the food court and the spa. So if you spend more at the spa, you'd probably spend more at the food court and vice versa. Likewise with the VR deck. What else? So that probably means that if you're spending money at like all these ancillary services, you're probably like splashing cash getting out there. All right, James has got an answer for us on temperature. The temperature is similar to randomness with temperature equal to 0.0 is meaning that means that the model will always be the most probable. Next word, increasing temperature means less probable. Okay, so it's effectively how strict we're being. So whether or not we're sticking to the prompt or not. Okay, so super interesting. Typically more temperature means more creative and messy outputs. So for code, you probably want temperature equal to 0.0, creative writing 1.0. Super interesting. Thanks, James. You my boy. All right, cool. So we got LangChain. So all right, so we just went and calculated correlation, right? Throat is dying. So df.select dtypes allows us to go and do that analysis, but we could also go, is there any strong correlation between columns using agent.run? And we should effectively get a new agent executor chain, which goes and does the same. So if I went and ran this, let's go and see. So the thought, or effectively the objective, I should look at the correlation between columns. This is saying that we need to use Python. All right, take a look. Super interesting. So this is going through the same thought process that we did, right? So the action input is going to say use df.core, but it's getting a response back which is saying could not convert the string to float. Exactly the same as the response that we got. The next thought is I should remove the non-numeric columns. Exactly what I did. Right, so I went up here and I said, I want to select D types. It's gone and done it a little bit differently, but it's gone and said, select D. I've said, select D types and exclude anything that's an object. Down here, it's going the opposite. It's going, I should remove non-numeric. So it's actually gone and identified the non-numeric columns. So passenger ID, home planet, destination, and name. And it's excluding those, then running the .core method on it, which should effectively give us the correlation. But see, here it's run into another error. Could not convert string to float. So it looks like it's missed one of the columns which still had strings. So take a look, it should have effectively then gone and added that particular column, which I believe is cabin, to the chain. So you can see it's gone and added there. So I beat GPT-4 by adding, by just selecting the appropriate details. But no, like I'm kidding. This is ridiculously amazing, right? Like, so it's able to go through that thought process to go and generate a response. But keep in mind, we've said, give us columns that had high correlation. So there would be one more associated step to this. Tell us which of those columns have highest correlation, not just return correlation. So take a look. I now know the final answer. Final answer, there is weak correlation between some of the columns, right? Such as cryosleep and transported, age and transported, and VIP and hold on. There is a weak correlation between some of the columns, such as cryosleep and transported, age and transported, and VIP and transported. Right, there you go. So it's actually gone and given us some of the correlation. And you can see it's finished the chain and given us our response. Pretty cool, right? So let's say that you wanted to empower citizen data scientists or citizen analysts. This is the type of thing that you'd actually be able to go on ahead and do. Like, give me another one. Like, what do you want me to test out? So I could go agent.run and say, let's give it a trickier one. So build me a machine learning model. Super meta. We're using LLMs to build our own machine learning models. So build me a machine learning model that predicts whether or not predicts the column transported. The head's covering that. Transported. Right, so this should effectively go and try to build a machine learning model that predicts whether or not the passenger is being transported or not. So be interesting to see whether or not this works. So let's give it a crack. God, my OpenAI bill is going to be brutal this month. Okay, so it's creating a train test split. It is, what's it doing? This is going way faster than I can process. The colors are not very good on the eyes. It's not right. Look at the core between VIP and transport. Interesting. Was it crap? VIP and transported. 0.12 is still okay. I would say that's weak correlation. What did we get? VIP and transported. Is VIP a numeric column? Hold up. DF. Oh, we've still got our executor chain happening down here. All right, so that's finished. So this actually hasn't created. This hasn't returned. Could we ask it to save the model? The final answer is to create a machine learning model that. Could I go and save the. Could we chain on a separate step to this? Like if I said, what would this be? Could I just then go and say agent.run, save the model as a pickle file? I'm going to come back to your question, John. The data frame has been, oh, so this just saved the data frame. It hasn't actually saved the model. Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't maintain context. Or it maintain context between the data frame, but save the machine learning model that was trained as a pickle file. I don't know. Will that work? No, it's not picking it up. It's just saving the data frame. It is saving it though. Kind of cool. So it's actually executing the code. I guess we could do that. There's still a little bit of context that needs to happen here. So I reckon if I had gone and said, save, like added it onto here, save the model as a pickle file and ran that line, how would that go? Look at the core between VMP and transport. I'll come back to that. Did it save? That looks promising. Model.pickle. So what would model would have been logistic regression. So you can see it went and trained a logistic regression model. And then down here, it went and saved it as model.pickle. So if we go into our folder now, we've got a model.pickle. That's right there. Pretty sick. All right, John, your question. So, but it's not right. Look at the core between VIP and transported. So it said, what did it actually say? There is weak correlation between VIP and transported. Transported. How is it saying that? Are we missing? There is an alignment here. It's looking a bit dodge. What data type was VIP? df.d types. VIP was an object. Yeah, so it didn't drop VIP. Hold up. What is VIP? VIP is binary. So could we not just go as type int? It must have dropped missing values. That's the only way it could have done that. So if we go through here, somewhere along the line, it would have dropped missing. Nope. Core. df.drop. How did it calculate the correlation with that? How did it run? If I run this, am I going to get what's it called? Or unless it's just ignoring. Okay, so it's different between mine. So I've gone and excluded anything which is currently classed as an object. This is actually just excluding certain columns, but it's still factoring in the columns which are objects but could potentially be binary. So if we actually go and take a look, the correlation between VIP and transported, that is weak. Like, did it pick up cryosleep and transported? Cryosleep and transported, it did. Interesting. Okay, so it did pick that up. Okay, well, I mean, it clearly works. Like, it's just gone and done it a different way. And I've been a little bit lazy and excluded object. But true false is fine. Replace with 1 0. Yeah. Cool. All right. Interesting. So that at least gives you a little bit of an idea as to what is possible with LangChain. I wonder what else we can do with this. Like, what other agents are available? What agents are there? What's the difference between an agent and agent executor? Take agents and tools and use the agent to decide which tools to call and in what order. Nope, let's go back to agents. Various tools. What are the tools? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, wow, we got a ton. Wikipedia API. Let's go check that one out. Oh, sick. Let's try this. So from langchain.utilities import wiki API wrapper. Testing it out. Let's try building a Streamlit app. Completely unplanned, but how are we doing for time? Yeah, we're okay. What are we doing with this? Let's jump back into the chat and then we're gonna try building some stuff. The coding is great, but the interpretation is dodgy. Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of something that you need to be mindful of, like whenever you're using large language models, right? Like if you keep in mind that there's a chance that stuff is not always going to be perfectly accurate, then it definitely helps you be a lot safer, which is a little bit of a pain because it means that you always need to double check and sort of question your results. So I think it's good, but again, you always need to be very mindful of that. LLMs are not great at numerical understanding. However, combining with Wolfram has shown some amazing results. I reckon let's go check out the Wolfram one. Let's try building a what's it called, like a Streamlit app with that. Yes, please definitely make a Streamlit app. All right, I guess that's what we're doing next. I'm really enjoying this live stream. What else? Is GPT-4 training set also available for download? I don't think it is. Like, I did a bunch of search. It's not actually available in that many spaces. So just be mindful of that. Lorenzo, hey buddy, how you doing? What else? No audio. Thankfully, I solved that one. What did you think of that? I mean, let me know in the chat. Like, I thought it's pretty cool, but like, obviously, I think my example kind of sucks because it's like, why would you use an LLM to do data science? Like, if I am a data scientist, although super amazing if you don't have the data science skill sets, because you can definitely go and pick it up. But I think using some of the other tool sets, which I just realized there are, makes a lot more sense. That being said, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a plug. Guys, if you're not like a hardcore coder and you do want to get up to speed, I don't know if you've checked out, but like I've probably dropped it in the chat or in the community post a bunch of times. You can actually go, or like I've set up a link and a page now, which will actually take you and give you a free link to be able to go and do my free Python course. So if you actually go, I should probably have text on the page, but if you actually go to go.coursesfromnick / I'm going to show it on the screen soon, / I think it's free Python, / Python, you can actually go and pick up that free Python course, which I'm going to add to. So like, you know how I showed up some of the stuff that I think is important when it comes to doing data science, or like some of the more mathy type things, I'm going to be adding some of that to the Python course. So it won't just be a pure Python course. It is continuously evolving to be more. And it also helps support the channel, having you guys on that email list, because then I can interact with you a little bit more closely. So I'll show that on the screen now, and then let's go build a Streamlit app. Cartoon Chan, what is happening? Doesn't matter, better late than never. So what did I want to show you? Yeah, so if you wanted to go and do the free Python course, you can go to go.coursesfromnick / Python and pick that up. I am doing a lot more like businessy type stuff. Oh, I know, 150k subs, pretty sick, right? Like, I think that it's all because of you guys. Like, like the reason that we're at 150k is because of you guys. So, thank you so much. Thanks for calling that out. Again, if you want to go and learn Python for free, by all means, go and jump onto that. go.coursesfromnick.com / Python. Plus, I'm also making some t-shirts that I'm going to be doing live giveaways with. Why is this light turned off? There we go. Cool. Got the blue light back. All right, cool. What are we doing? We're going to go do some... Let's go build a Streamlit app, see where this goes. Okay, so what do we need? So we need to open up an environment. So I'm going to go into my G drive. And we're going to go CD, YouTube, CD. Where do I need to go into? DR. Also, how cool, like I personally think that go.course is from... So I'll give you a little bit of a top secret. So if you actually go and subscribe to this, or if you jump in, it'll give you a free course to actually go and do the free Python course at coursesfromnick.com. which is something that I spent a ton of time setting up. And I'll actually show you it. Let me jump in. So even though it says 267, like someone reached out to me and they're like, oh my God, Nick, it's $267. No, this is for free. Just make sure you go through this link and it'll give you a free code to be able to go and do this. Like you do not need to pay the 267 for the Tech Fundamentals course, which covers like setting up Jupyter, doing Python. Don't pay the 267, please, guys. I want to give this away to you guys for free. It covers like CRUD, so like that was the frame, like create, read, update, delete, conditions and logic. I got a bunch more coming. It just doesn't show because I haven't gone and uploaded the videos. But let me actually show it to you in the back end. I don't know, have any of you guys seen this before? I probably haven't shown it to you. So if I go in and show you the course, nope. Oh, these are the other projects in the full stack ML course, but so Tech Fundamentals, let me show you. yeah, so like there's more stuff that I got planned. So I had working with NumPy, powering pandas. I'm gonna add like a statistics section, a math section, maybe a little bit of calculus. You let me know what you want. But it covers things like you end up building like a z-scoring function, handling standard deviation or calculating standard deviation, calculating mean from scratch, going through a bunch of loops. So again, if you want to check this out, completely free, just make sure you sign up at this link so you don't pay the $267. Please don't do that. I've set this up for it to be free for you guys. Plus, I actually give you a bunch of data science advice in a bunch of emails as well. So did I build the courses from Nick website from scratch? I thought about it, but I didn't. So it's actually a bunch of websites combined together. The combining together I did, which was a little bit of a pain to say the least. But this is powered by Thinkific. So no, I didn't build that. I thought about it, but I was like, actually started building it. Then I don't have time to manage it. Plus, eventually, one day I want to go and build my own like course platform that I can use to share stuff with you guys, but that's further along down the track. Okay, what are we doing now? We're gonna do some Streamlit stuff. Let's go do it. All right, so we are going to CD into our LLMs folder. Let's activate that environment, LLMs, scripts. Someone's calling me. Let's decline that. Dash activate. Should probably call them back a little bit later. And I add PCA, MDS, and cross-validation to the Python course, or to what? Naruto. Let me know. All right, cool. What are we doing here? So we want to. We're going to build a. I'm having mind blanks. We're going to install Streamlit. So pip install Streamlit. Let that install. Grab a little more water. Also, what do you guys like? Do you like long live streams or like short ones? Because like in the past, like I've always tried to keep them like under an hour, but I don't know. Do you like longer ones? PCA, MDA, and cross valid. I'm not sure what the MDS is, but I might actually add the PCA one because that might be good for like linear algebra. Great answer. Maybe I'll add that. I've got to do a little bit of work on it anyway. So LLM. So we are inside of LLM. So I'm just going to type in code dot to open this up inside of VS Code. Hopefully it doesn't show my API key. Nope, it's not going to. Close that. Close that. Okay, so we are now going into our. Let's create a new file. We're going to call it app.py, and we are going to import Streamlit as st. And then we can run it by running Streamlit run app.py. 1 hour. You like 1 hour ones? Under an hour. So long live streams, under an hour. How you doing, Maxime? Glad you're a new schooler. 1 hour seems fine. Longest feels like a podcast. Yeah. Multi-dimensional scaling. Maybe, yeah. I don't mind unless it's useful content. Are you guys finding this useful? Let me know. If I'm boring you, we can always mix it up. Okay. So we've got our Streamlit app running, but we need our LangChain notes. Let's just chuck that in there. I know we might finish this tomorrow, but how are we doing for time? How long have we been going for now? 1 hour and 6 minutes. Probably wrap it up soon and finish this tomorrow. I'm going to live stream tomorrow as well. Okay, so we're importing Streamlit. What do we want to do? So where was that documentation? Nope. 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 I wanted to do the Wikipedia one. Yeah, okay. So what's it saying? What do we need to do? So we need to install Wikipedia. So let's just get a new thing. So we're going to run pip install Wikipedia. And then what? So from LangChain utilities import Wikipedia API wrapper. Okay. And then let's make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Let's toggle word wrap. All right, so that's our wrapper. We can then run Wikipedia equals Wikipedia API wrapper. Where does the LLM bit come into this? So this is just returning. This notebook goes over how to use the Wikipedia component. Okay, I'm not sure I get what's happening here. So this is just returning text. Wikipedia dot run enter. I don't know, let's run Lewis Hamilton. What's my Git? My GitHub. I haven't uploaded this to GitHub, but if you go to github.com/Nick Knock Knack, it'll be there. What's happening here? And then I can go st.text. Let's pass through the text there. So would that work? Where's that app? Rerun. Okay, so this is just returning text. How do we make this work with with our large language model? So I could let's add a text input. So input equals st.text input. Input, type your prompt here. Right? Okay. Then if input, we would then go and do this stuff. We should probably take that out, throw it over here. And then what we're going to say is if we have an input, then we're going to run the Wikipedia agent from LangChain and then render that back to the screen. Yes. Right. So we can type our prompt. Actually, I should pass this input back over to here. This is completely unplanned. I'm literally building this on the fly, guys. So bound to be a few errors. So we should be able to type in a prompt here. Say, who were the parties in the Battle of Thermopylae? I was watching 300. I'm spelling that wrong for sure. Thermopylae? How do you... Let's Google how to spell that. Thermopylae. There we go. Yeah, I knew I spelled that wrong. All right, so this should run. Okay, so it's returning. What are we getting here? Page summary. So the Battle of Thermopylae, the engagement occurred. Wow, that's returning a big block of text. Okay. This is just returning text though. So what do we need to do? Pass this as context to LangChain? Like this isn't all that magical. What are we doing wrong? So tools. So presumably this needs to get used by the agent. Okay, let's Google this. So this is, could you combine it with, yeah, I think that's the whole idea. I'm just not very clear how to do it inside of this. So would I initialize it inside of, so this is getting started. There's got to be some better documentation. So LangChain, Wikipedia agent. There's got to be some example. And he has to Google stuff? Hell yeah, man. That's all I do. That's hilarious. All right, so this is an example of GPT plus Wolfram Alpha. So I like the RPG and agent Stanford. Like, wait, RPG is in like role player game agents? How you doing, Lou Explains? What's happening? No, I want to see the code behind this. I don't want to... This is weird. Show me an example. Do we have examples? Okay, hold on. This is just taking us back to the same thing. How to combine agents and vector stores? No, that's not what I want. Text loader. We're gonna have to dig into this. This retrieval. So wait, there's different types of agents. So if we think about this broadly, right? So there's bunches of agents, there's tools, there's agents, there's toolkits. So the toolkits allow you to do processing on these types of data. The agents are actually what we're using. And the tool sets are basically the stuff that we can integrate into. Do we need to use custom tools? What are we building right now? We were trying to build a Wikipedia bot. Tools.append. Oh, okay, hold on. Here. So tools.append, and then we initialize our agent with tools. Okay, hold up. So I think that's it. I like that I read it for like 30 seconds and I'm like, yeah, nah, that's fine. That's pretty much how my development goes. Like, yep, that'll be right. Let's just wing it. Okay, so Wikipedia is our current tool set. Yes? Yes. I hope. So that should mean that we're creating tools, and then what is tool a class of? Do we need to import this from... Yeah, okay. Here we go. So look. How do we do it with this? Let me just go back to this initial code. Go away. Okay, so we're importing the create pandas data frame agent. Create pandas data frame agent. So are there other agents that we could just use? Or are they just using a generic agent? No, we don't need this, don't need this. Let's get rid of the stuff that we don't need. So we are using initialize agent. So initialize agent. Does that mean that can take in our tools? Let's try that. Let's just do it inside of Jupyter Lab for now. Let's prototype, yeah, Jupyter Lab. You can use the stuff chain with a custom prompt to insert context. The stuff chain? Stuff chain, presumably that's under chains. Okay, so what are we doing here? Prompt template, prompt. Where are you seeing stuff chain, Richard? Is it actually called stuff chain, or am I just like... Stuff chain? Oh, okay. Hold on. Stuff document chain. Do I need an OpenAI API? I think so. Like to use the LLM, yeah, you do. LangChain.chains. Now, surely we can just create initialize agent, like just as I saw there. LLM chain. I don't know why I got rid of that. Nope, let's not open up Outlook. We don't need that. So we've got a create pandas data frame agent. So if let's just map this out a little bit. So plus.xr. So what we're saying is we have, go back to the doco. So we have our agents, we have chains, agents, we have chains, and we also have, so what do we, how does this stuff map together? Chains, combine LLMs and prompts in multi-step workflows. Right, so where is, so the LLM chain is going to be our OpenAI bit. Wait, does that mean we've bypassed actually initializing the chain over here? Because we're just using that specific agent? Must be. Because here it's just using initialize agent. Yeah, take a look. Here we go. Okay. So theoretically, I could go and do, I don't need to use that. I could say load tools, Wikipedia. So this would be an alias. We would define our LLM as such. I got rid of LLM math. Is that going to work? Is this, we have no kernel. Change kernel. Let's clear our output because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so we want to run that. We want to set our API key. We want to specify that. We want to create our open it. Let's go. Wikipedia. So we want to create our LLM, that's fine. Load tools, is that going to work? Load tools is not defined. Where do we import load tools from? This is not, all right, here we go. Load tools is coming from LangChain agents. Okay, that looks promising. Guys, we might have got this. Then what, we initialize the agent as the agent. And so that's going to now take in the Wikipedia agent. Are you guys enjoying me doing this? Just completely winging. Initialize agent is now not defined because we didn't bring that in, Nick, you nug. Let's bring that. Agent type. Do we need, okay, we need to bring that in. Well, you know what? Let's just bring all this because then we can just bring it into our Streamlin app. All right, so now if we go do that, okay, agent dot run, who won the battle of, how do we spell it again? Thermopylae. Paste that in there. Bump, bump. Is gonna win. Let's just see it's, hold on, wait. So this is the context. How sick is that? So it's actually going out to Wikipedia and getting the response. The Battle of Thermopylae in 400 BC was fought between, all right, hold on. And save that output to a text file. Right. Did it save it? Did not save. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. But anyway, there you go. It's given the response. So what? So we could theoretically hook this up into our. It is valuable. Okay, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying this. So we could grab this. Get rid of that. Yes. Yes, that, okay, so then we would go and set up, so we'd need to go and set our API key. So we'd import OS, set our API key. So I'd go from API key, import API key, beautiful. That's looking promising. So then This is how a lot of the time when I'm prototyping random stuff, what I'll do, I'll go and play around with it inside of Jupyter, and then I'll go and take it out. Okay, so what have we gone and done? Then what we want to do is we want to load our tools. Boom. We need to define our LLM, which is going to be our OpenAI temp with our temp specified. So let's add, oh my God, I need to add some commentary here. What is this? So let's go and say we are going to import, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Import Streamlit for the app. Then we're going to import all of our LangChain stuff, import LangChain stuff. Then we are importing OS. Import API key and set it to the environment. All right, let's backtrack and take a break as to what we're doing. So import Streamlit as ST, so that's going to allow us to have the Streamlit app. Then from LangChain, this is literally what we just learned. So from LangChain.agents, we're bringing in the load tools agent. Then from LangChain, we could actually just say, bring both of those in a single line. And actually we can bring an agent type over here as well. So from LangChain.agents, import load tools, initialize agent and agent type. And then from LangChain.llms, import OpenAI. I don't know if I like that load tools is not like a utility and initialize agent is not a utility. It's just direct outside of that agent's API key. But nonetheless, that's fine. Well, I mean, I guess they're defined as methods because they're not camel case. But yeah, I don't know. All right, and then we're importing our API key, so import OS. But that being said, the framework is sick. You can always improve though. So import OS, and then we're importing the API key, which I set as a string inside of a separate .py file. Then we're set the API key. Beautiful. And then we are initializing the LLM and the tool set. Cool. And then what do we need to do? Let's go back to our Jupyter notebook. Then we're initializing our agent, and then we're allowing ourselves to run. So then we are initializing our agent, which will be here. And then we would be, so then we would collect the prompt from the user. Yeah, beautiful. And then we would effectively be going agent.run here. Yes, I think, okay, let's give that a crack. So now if I go and refresh this, good job, Nick, keep it up. Thank you, I need positivity. Hour and 35 minutes, damn, we're, take a look. Who were the parties at the Battle of Thermopylae? Why is it not printing as can I make this anyway? It's given us the response. The Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC was fought between the Achaemenid Persian Empire under Xerxes I and the alliance of the Greek city-states led by Sparta under Leonidas I, 1991. Take a look. That's our response. How much do I think my OpenAI costs to retrieve? We'll go and take a look at my API bill in a sec. But there you go, that works. I don't think this is right. So how do I normally handle on enter? On enter input Streamlit text box. Textbook? No, text. Here we go, capture enter event. Value if value. This is, it was initial, my bad. It's initializing because there was initially a prompt here. So if I went and refreshed, this won't go run. All right, cool. Okay, we're good. Now the next thing that I want to do is let's actually add a title. So a little bit clearer what we've got. So this is st.title, Wikipedia LangChain bot. And we need an emoji as per usual. How do we get that bird emoji? Bird emoji. It's a little parrot thing. Parrot emoji. Yeah. So that's our title. We can then type in our prompt here, and then What else do we want to do? We just need to work out why I need a multi-line text. Wrap text, streamlit text. Yeah, see, this is printing over there. So let's do it as a text area. Will that look better? Let's rerun. Beautiful. Wikipedia LangChain bot. So what's another one? What do we want me to ask? Loving the exploration, by the way. Glad you're enjoying it. Who developed the first neural network? This is going to Wikipedia, getting an extract, and then actually it should be returning a response. The first neural network was developed by Geoffrey Hinton, David Rumelhart, and Ronald Williams in 1986. Wait, Geoffrey Hinton wrote the deep learning book. Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he did. What is happening to my text area here? Yeah, we're still getting that weird block. Just use st.markdown or st.write instead of st.text for long text. Let's use st.write. Try that again. All right, guys, what other question should I ask? Ask about NBA 2K. What specific question? Give me some examples. When was NBA 2K first released, and who was the game developer? Yeah, I think there you go. NBA 2K was first released in 1999 and was developed by Visual Concepts. I think this is pretty sick. We've been productive. In an hour and a half, I think I've achieved my study goal of learning LangChain. I'm pretty happy. I think there's definitely a lot more, and I got to go and revise GPT from scratch. But I think that was pretty good. Who is Nicolas Renaud? Let's actually go and ask it. I don't know if I'm on Wikipedia. Who is... Famous last words. Who is Nicolas Renaud? This might just come back with the GPT-4 response though, so if it does have one. Are we getting anything in the logs back here? Apparently Nicolas Renaud is a Belgian actor. No good Wikipedia search results. No good Wikipedia search result was found for Nicolas Renaud. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little quick build up of a Streamlit app. There you go. So I think that's... We've at least begun exploring. There's still like a ton more that I think we're going to need to go on ahead and do. But at least we gave it a crack and saw what we got to. Good job. Glad I didn't quit. We don't quit here. We keep going. Well, a few times where I'm like, let's end this live stream. But hopefully you enjoyed it. All right, cool. Can I combine it with LangChain agent and then ask questions on the return Wikipedia text? Yeah, that's what we just did. Jabalani. I think I'm just retrieving the text from Wikipedia, but there needs to be passed to LLM to summarize. Yeah, James. I think now I think it's working. So it sounds like we need an LLM and then we need an agent. So the agent, we need a tool set, we need an LLM, and then we combine those both to effectively allow it to be an agent. Sounds like that's the way that it works. Again, we could dig into it a lot more. RPG agents, Cappy. I think I need to go and check that out. I don't know. I never actually realized that Stanford went and made some RPG agents, but kind of sick. Also, let me know what you thought of the intro on the last video. I know it's IBM focused, but I wanted to create it for work because it's something super interesting that we're taking a look at the moment. But if you like the latest video that I released, just the style, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it. What else? Did I need the OpenAI API? Yeah, I did. Wow, we're live. Pass the tools and the LLM into the initialize agent object. Yeah, James, thanks, man. I think that definitely helped. Like stacking it together seemed to get it right. Seeing the process is valuable. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. Goated. Nice. Do I need a GPU to try LangChain? I don't believe you do because it's actually using the OpenAI API, which means you don't need a GPU, but you do need an OpenAI API key, which means it costs money. Do I think, let's go check my OpenAI API bill right now. Jablani, thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. Great work, worth all the time. I should go back and watch from the beginning. Fine tuning. What's my favorite way to host Python apps for free? It really depends. I'm still using Heroku at the moment. There are some others. I answered it inside of the Courses from Nick community page. Again, if you're just tuning into the live stream, you can go to go.coursesfromnick/Python and you'll get a free link to be able to go and play or do my Python course. And that will also give you access to the tech community in there. So I check it every single morning just to make sure that I'm handling any questions. How to make Nicholas $1 million for the content. Thanks so much. All right, cool. Let's go and check my OpenAI API bill. I don't imagine it's that much, but you never know. All right, let's go and check this out. I'm glad you enjoyed this, guys. So if I go, it's unplatform. Platform. Can you imagine it's just like $1,000? Gonna need some help to pay for, where is it? Is it under manage account or billing? It should be under billing. Usage, actually it's under usage. All right, so today's the 19th, so I've used 70 cents worth. Not that bad. And like I've been playing around with it for a bunch, so 70 cents, not too bad. But again, you got to build apps. It really depends. Like if you're a developer, obviously that's not so bad, but could become more. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Again, if you do want to go and check out the course, you can go to go.coursesfromnick/Python. That is going to give you free access to the Courses from Nick Python course, which I'm updating every day. So if you go to Courses from Nick, I can never find where the actual course is, but that will give you a free code to be able to go and take the Tech Fundamentals course. So it's on $267 on the website, but don't pay that. Make sure you go through here. It'll give you a link that you can do it. Let me check, because inside of the community, I actually had, inside a tech team, somebody else asked this as well. How do I get into that? I think I've got to go into my account. Here we go, tech team. See, open community. Could have sworn somebody asked this as well. Find render. Yeah, I think render was the one that was recommended. Anyway, it was somewhere in there. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. It was a little bit different to what we normally do. But I'll include all the code for this up on my GitHub. So if you go to github.com/anickknocknack, you should be able to get this along with other stuff. Do you want me to share this mind map thing for the data scientist? You let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed that live stream, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks so much for you guys being an absolutely amazing audience and checking this out. Hopefully you enjoyed checking out a little bit about what's possible with LangChain. Let me know what you want to see tomorrow. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.